Very soon, I will be retiring peacefully to start working as a social entrepreneur. Social entrepreneurship is an approach by individuals, groups, startup companies, or entrepreneurs in which they develop, fund, and implement solutions to social, cultural, or environmental issues.
Your teacher Michael Aendera from Nairobi, Kenya.
Jina langu ni Beatrice Dube, mwalimu mwenza wa Bwana Michael Aendera, na nina furaha sana kujitolea kama mmoja wa walimu katika mradi huu wa Kiswahili tekelezi.
My name is Rhoda Hanaka, a teacher of English and Literature at Kagonya Secondary School in Siaya, in the sub-county of Kenya. Today's lesson is going to be an English literature lesson, and I hope that all of you will be active in this lesson as we journey through a new topic today. So I request that you allow me to share my screen. Today's lesson is the first English lesson we are having at Kiswate Digital Academy. I want to dive in directly into the topic of today, which is on character traits. Follow me. I will expect you to be active. When I request you to participate, please let's share the lesson together. So our lesson today is on character traits. I want us to learn about identifying character traits in short stories. When you joined Form 1, your teachers taught you how to answer questions in comprehensions. And as you advance into Form 2, Form 3, and Form 4, you also get to learn something new, that is character traits in short stories. I want to ask a few questions to the learners who are in class today. There's something I've shared on my screen. I wish that you would read those words. The question reads, which words describe your deskmate? Where you're seated today, you have a deskmate. I don't know which of the words that you see there describe your deskmate. These are words that can describe your deskmates. Could be attentive, calm, cheeky, intelligent, faithful, pessimistic, friendly, good-tempered, happy, hardworking, honest, or nervous. Those are the words that are on the screen for those who can read. And I think you can pick a few of those words to describe your deskmate. Then we move to the next slide. And I want you now to check inwardly. So the words that are on the screen, there are a few words: intelligent, good, outspoken, practical, powerful, elegant, strong, uncompromising, honest. Someone is saying something? Ambitious, kind. So from these words, which words could easily describe you? So today's lesson is majorly talking about character traits. What is a character trait? A character trait is a word that is a person's inner qualities. These traits are mainly internal. But at times, you can get, most times when they don't know us, they can talk about a tall boy, the short girl, the plump lady, the dark boy, the white, that are internal, that describe our personality. These ones also come with the qualities that we possess. For example, someone can say you are hardworking, or you are loyal, or you're funny. Someone can also say that you're a kind person or you're honest. This is what makes character traits in language. Personality traits could be positive or negative. And when we learn literature, there's one concept that we have across: something could be good or bad. That means it is either positive or negative. Even in personality traits, we have positive traits and we have negative traits. On our screen, on one side, we can see create. On the negative side, we can see arrogant, dishonest, greedy, fearful, negative, unfriendly, lazy, or even rude. Those are the negative traits that people possess inwardly. So who's a creative person? A person who's creative is someone who can make up things very fast and in an interesting way. Someone who's kind, takes care of others' needs, takes care of people in ways that we do not expect. Someone who's determined, they go, things are done. Someone who's honest, they speak the truth. When you look at the other side, someone who's arrogant, they are careless, arrogant with the way they present themselves in front of people. Someone who's honest, they never speak the truth. Someone who's greedy, they want everything to themselves. Someone who's fearful, they're afraid to take action and they always appear as being lazy. Can either be positive or negative. If you look around your classroom or where you're seated, whether it is in the laboratory or you know about yourself or the desk mates that you have, we talk about as the character traits by looking at one, what someone told you to say something about yourself, what you say, what a character does, what you do. How can I tell that you're determined? How can I tell that you're rude? Is because of the things that you do. Your actions can actually help me describe your character traits. Other things are other things that people say about you, or what other characters say about them. That is a contributor of a character trait description. How the narrator in a book describes a character is also another way of finding out the character trait of a person. There's an example on the screen. Peter wakes up at 4 a.m. every morning, makes his bed, studies for 1 hour before getting ready for school. If someone is talking about Peter, there are things that you will learn about Peter. He wakes up every day at 4 a.m. I think he must be a very hardworking person. He makes his bed. He must be tidy or neat. He studies for 1 hour. He is persistent or he is consistent in his actions before getting ready for school. He goes to school. So he's diligent. He knows his role as a young man, probably a teen, just like you. I have a story that I want us to read together. This story is supposed to help us get the character traits from a short story. Our topic today was character traits in short stories. The short story comes from East Africa and it reads like this. Long ago, in a village by the shores of Lake Victoria, there lived a wise old chief named Barongo. He ruled with fairness, but he was growing old and had no children to inherit in his leadership. One morning, Chief Barongo called all the young people of the village to the meeting ground. In his hands, he held a beautiful drum made from the finest cowhide polished wood. My time as chief is ending, he said. This drum is the drum of truth. Whoever can make it sound the loudest will become the next chief. But remember, the drum only sings for the whose heart is pure and whose words are true. Each youth was given a chance to beat the drum. One by one, they struck all their strength. Thump, thump, but the drum remained silent. Some whispered spells, others tried to bribe the chief's guards, but still no sound came. Finally, a quiet boy named Juma stepped forward. He was poor, and many often laughed at his torn clothes. Juma bowed before the chief. Chief Barongo, he said softly, I cannot beat the drum. Last week, I took a mango from your garden without asking. I am sorry. The crowd gasped. But before anyone could speak, the drum gave a deep rolling boom that echoed across the hills. Chief Barongo smiled. The drum of truth does not need strong arms, he said. It needs a truthful heart. He placed the drum in Juma's hands. Let this be a lesson. Leadership belongs not to the strong or the rich, but to those who are honest. And so, Juma became the new chief, not because he was powerful, but because he was truthful. The moral lesson: true character is revealed through honesty and integrity. And wealth cannot replace a truthful heart. So every time you read a story, you must get the moral or the lesson of the story. When you teach literature or when you learn literature, as a student, you should pick the virtues and you should learn from the vices of the people or the characters or the animals who are mentioned in the story. Maybe I can receive some reactions or questions so far. Any questions from the students? Please raise your hand. I'm not able to hear anything.
No question at the moment.
There's no question at the moment.
Yeah, sorry for that.
It's okay. Anybody else who has a reaction to the story that we have today or anything concerning today's lesson? I want us to look at the character analysis of the people mentioned in our story today. The chief that we are talking about is known as Chief Barongo. So we want to analyze the character traits of Chief Barongo. The first thing that we learn about Chief Barongo is that Chief Barongo is wise, he is just, and he is an insightful leader. Despite his age, remember he says that he is getting old and he does not know who he needs to pass the mantle to. So despite his age, he continues to guide his people with fairness and integrity. And he wants to pass the leadership of his community to a person who's going to be as straightforward as him so that he does not lose a whole community to a rogue leader. So if you look at him, for him to find a good person to take over from him, he is using the drum so that he can find a person who is honest. And we can see that Juma comes out as the honest man that Chief Barongo is looking for. So his age is a contributor of probably the choice that he makes. He has interacted with life and he knows that for you to get a good person, probably someone is looking at drum and wondering, why the drum? But you can look at this, the culture of these people is that the drum could sense people who are integral and who are not integral. Because all the other people, even if they came with spells to speak, the drum could not respond. But when Juma picks the drum, you can see that the drum is responding to him and it sounds boom, and he is able to be elected. So with his wisdom and his insight, he is able to pick the leader. We also learn that he is wise and he is fair. Instead of simply choosing a successor based on wealth, we learn that Juma is a poor boy. He used to wear torn clothes. That is told in the story. Remember, how we learn that he is poor is the way they have described him in the story. Family, he does not come from a very powerful family. He creates a test. The chief creates a test that reveals a person's inner qualities. Sometimes our personality, when someone looks at us from outside, we look decent, smart, but what really is valued in society today is our inner qualities. And for the chief, because he was there, and he had to find this, and through his wisdom, he came to learn about the qualities, the inner qualities of Juma. The drum of truth is not just a magical object. It is a symbol of his wisdom in understanding that good leadership is based on character and not on appearance or power. We also learn that Chief Barongo is morally upright. Through the challenge that he gives the young people, young men in his society, Chief Barongo teaches the young people an important moral lesson. I also I hope that you have also learned something, that true leadership comes from honesty and humility. For you to be a good leader, one, you must be honest. And integrity is key, even in today's society, that you must be a person who is honest. And for you to be a leader, you must be a servant. And that means you must be humble. So true leadership comes from honesty and humility. His plan forces everyone to reflect on their own behavior and values. If someone was to describe you today, would you come out as an honest person? Would you come out as a humble person? If you do not possess these values, it is time to work on them. He is also patient. He allows each youth to try the drum. I don't know if it was in your community, how many days it will take for the chief to finally get the leader. But he allows each youth to try the drum, watching their actions and reactions carefully. He does not scold or shame anyone. Instead, he tells the truth. He tells the truth, revealing itself. He allows the truth to reveal itself naturally. So you can see, when you are patient, it's a value. When you're observant, it's a value. You'll not miss out on very important things in life. When you're patient, patience is actually a value. So the chief allows every youth in his village to come and beat the drum. He also values integrity. The reason as to why he wants to pass the mantle to a person of integrity is because himself, rewarding Juma's honesty instead of strength or status, the chief shows that he values moral character above all else. This demonstrates his understanding that a truthful leader will guide the community with fairness, peace. I always tell my learners that if you're an integral person, it means that you do the right thing even when nobody is watching. That is what integrity is. It is time to work on integrity because we have learned the next leader of this village in person. I want you to reflect. There are just few key points: being wise, being stands for integrity himself. So he's expecting that the person who takes the mantle after him is also an integral person. His fairness. He's fair because he allows everybody the chance to get a test of the drum. If you were put in line to test the drum, I hope you passed this test. He's morally upright. Even in his old age, he remains to be morally upright. I wish that you would reflect on these key points about Chief Barongo as we learn about character traits. We learn that he's morally upright by the things he does. Remember, when we're talking about how to get the character traits of people, is by what they say about themselves, what other people say about them, what the author writes about them, and their action. So his moral uprightness comes out when he teaches these young people a moral lesson of honesty and humility. I would wish that we proceed to Juma. Juma represents honesty, humility, and moral courage. These are the core traits that make him worthy of leadership. Because if he was not honest, he would not have told the story about taking the mango from the chief's farm. If he was not humble, if he did not have moral courage, he would have been picked to be the next leader. He is honest. Juma's defining moment comes when he admits to stealing a mango from the chief's garden. When you admit something, you bring out the character of being honest. That means it is us who will see you. So this is what we will say about you. Remember, it is one of the parameters that we use on picking the character trait of a person. His confession, through though small, shows deep integrity. He tells the truth even when it could bring punishment or embarrassment. Imagine stealing mangoes from your chief's compound or even the governor's home in our case. Very few people would admit that they stole mangoes from the governor's home. But in the situation of Juma, he actually admits that he had stolen a mango from the chief's garden. This confession actually shows that he's an integral person. He knows what is right and he knows what is wrong. And when you do a mistake, when you commit a mistake, you should be in a position to admit your mistake and seek for forgiveness. Okay? One's faults publicly, especially before the chief and the entire village. Juma's courage in telling the truth shows inner strength and self-awareness. We also learn that he is pure-hearted. Juma's purity of heart allows the drum to respond to him. Remember, the drum only responds to people of a pure heart. So his personality of having a pure heart is what makes the drum to respond. His honesty reflects a clean conscience and genuine goodness that other young men in his community lack. He is a symbol of hope. His rise from poverty to leadership shows that virtue, not status, determines one's true worth. Juma becomes an inspiration to others that goodness and honesty leads to honor. I wish to receive questions or contributions.
Okay, before that,
Any
Madam,
questions?
let me appreciate presence of Mudavadi girls.
Any questions or contributions? Levy, please assist. Hawinga girls, welcome.
Yeah, thank you a lot. Teachers, if maybe I cannot spot your school, you can go to the reaction and raise the hand. I will in a position to identify the school.
Belinda Anyango from Nile Road, welcome. Steve Biko from Kimuchu, welcome. Jamhuri Secondary School, I can see you, welcome.
Any question to our global teacher, please?
In summary, on our topic on character traits, we narrowed down our points to Chief Barongo and Juma. The key traits of Chief Barongo, we see that he was wise, he is fair, he is moral, he is also observant. His role in the story is that he tests the youth to find a worthy successor. The lesson from Chief leadership must be based on integrity and not on status. And that is why he picks on Juma, there were many others probably who came, who looked like they were able, or who looked like they fit the position of being the leader. But because of one quality that they lacked, which was integrity, they miss out on the position of becoming the next leader. Juma is honest, he's humble, he is brave, and he is a young man who is started. He proves his worth by confessing the truth. The lesson that we learn from duty and humility are the foundation.
The Kiswate Digital Academy, founded by Pius Odhiambo, is a groundbreaking digital platform aimed at fostering the African Renaissance in the education sector. Specifically tailored for Kenya, the Academy addresses critical challenges in the implementation of the competency-based curriculum CBC for grades 7 through 12 in both junior and secondary schools. Key issues it seeks to resolve include 1. Access to educational materials. Many students lack textbooks in certain thematic areas, and where available, these resources are often prohibitively expensive. School calendar disruptions. Unforeseen events such as illnesses, pandemics, for example the COVID-19, school strikes, and natural disasters like floods frequently disrupt the academic calendar. 3. Data-driven decision-making. There is a notable absence of reliable online attendance and learning data, which is crucial for informed decision-making in curriculum implementation. Pius Odhiambo, the visionary behind Kiswate, is a trained science teacher and an award-winning data scientist, a philanthropist based in the Washington, D.C., United States of America. His contributions have earned him a place on the Marquis Who Is Who in America, highlighting his international recognition and impact.
Very soon, I will be retiring peacefully to start working as a social entrepreneur. Social entrepreneurship is an approach by individuals, groups, startup companies, or entrepreneurs in which they develop, fund, and implement solutions to social, cultural, or environmental issues.
The Kiswati Digital Academy is structured around 3 course components. Digital library. This will provide students and teachers with access to a vast array of digital textbooks and educational resources online, ensuring that learning materials are both accessible and affordable. 2. Learning management system LMS. This system will enable teachers to conduct remote lessons and allow school principals to recruit emergency or substitute teachers from a distance. It will also facilitate continuous learning for students regardless of physical location. 3. Scholarship system. This component will offer financial support to deserving students, ensuring that economic barriers do not hinder access to quality education. By leveraging these components, Kiswati Digital Academy aims to create a resilient and flexible educational environment. Students will have uninterrupted access to digital textbooks and teachers, while educators will be equipped with the tools needed for effective and remote teaching. This initiative not only addresses immediate educational challenges but also lays the foundation for a more robust and adaptable education system in Kenya, capable of withstanding future disruptions and fostering long-term academic success.